Welcome to the podcast of disaster. I'm your host JCR1216, and joining me are my co-hosts.
Hello, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Fun Flip the Cartoon.
And today we're going to talk about the calendar for the 2026 7-year for Sonic the Hedgehog.
First of all, yes, it is what we're going to be doing. And second of all, screw you, man.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, wait, did he say 6-7? I'm going crazy.
Well, it's technically the way people talk about calendar years in business. I'm the only business major here.
That's true.
Alas, the internet has truly brain rotted us. Let's just keep moving on, shall we?
Yeah. So, today as of recording, we actually found out about the first thing, which is something I didn't think would happen at all. We're getting a Chaotix audio show.
Sonic the Hedgehog presents the Chaotix Case Files, which features our usual cast of characters. You can obviously infer it's very exciting. It's starting next week. It features Roger Craig Smith, Keith Silverstein, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and Matthew Mercer. They're all back reprising their roles. If you're a Sonic fan, you probably already know who they are, as well as more characters showing up later. As we also know from the trailer, Dr. Eggman is getting involved because you can't have a Sonic story without Dr. Eggman. I mean, you could, but like most of the time, it's
I'm pretty sure Sonic will also show up there because,
Well, yeah, that's why I mentioned Roger Craig Smith. But also the fact that we're getting a lot of interesting little developments. Something about a museum in Station Square. Something about Eggman getting involved, however, like whatever he's looking for or whatever he's doing, probably just to mess with Sonic. Something about a package at the door that Sonic was talking about at the Chaotix. And more importantly, again, said museum, something about some sort of red intruder breaking in and stealing a relic. Don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I'm very excited about it. Again, first audio drama, first lots of things for Sonic. It's really cool. It's really cool. We should all be excited.
And that's something we will be covering on the podcast.
Yeah, I would. Which now that I think about it, I was gonna say just because it's gonna if it's anything like Chow Tales when that series was happening, this will probably be a weekly upload schedule for the series. So I'm thinking like and also in case you don't know, it's going to be a whole series, multiple episodes confirmed by Chris Hernandez of the lore team. In fact, this project is on Chris. Apparently, he's been working on this since he started at Sega. This is one of the first projects that he had pitched. So this is really exciting. And yeah, I was also going to say that I think it would be best for us to cover the whole series once it ends.
Yeah, that's what we did with Chow Tales. Yeah, that's what we did with Chow Tales. I floated around the idea of us covering it weekly, but that might be a little bit too much because we still have IDW going on and stuff that we'll talk about later in this episode. So yeah, I think it's best for us just to cover it when we know this is finished. I will say it's interesting to see the guy behind OKKO is directing this.
Yes, Ian Jones-Cordy is officially doing a Sonic project. Outside of his own crossover in his own Cartoon Network show, OKKO Let's Be Heroes, and as well as participated in the Fast Friends Forever campaign, he is doing just straight up a Sonic the Hedgehog project. And also thank you again, Chris Hernandez, for confirming the canonical state of this podcast, which it is. Yep, Chris said so. This is a thing that happens in Sonic's world.
I need that audio then.
I try to make sure that this is wedged deep into the brains of most Sonic fans because you can't escape it.
We're gonna Yanofish you. We're gonna send Yanofish into your brain. But yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that,
but yeah,
that we're going to get the Chaotix files.
Go ahead.
Of all things. Because I
will say it will be fun to cover this whenever it finishes.
The Chaotix files gonna be revealed soon.
Okay, time for you to shut up now. So yeah, like I said, the voice cast as well as those who are involved with the the behind the scenes. Yeah, Ian Jones-Cordy from OKKO, Steven Universe, and Adventure Time is directing this. Lead writer of the Chaotix Case Files is Dan Jolly, who worked on Transformers, Dying Light, and Superman, as well as a whole numerous other franchises like Star Trek. For reference, Dan Jolly worked on the Transformers video games like War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. And then in the writer's room assisting Dan is none other than our resident Ian Flynn and Evan Stanley.
Yep. We cannot have them. We need them.
And then as a really great surprise as well, for the music for this audio drama is composed by Charlie Rosen, leader of the 8-Bit Big Band.
Love their music. They're in my playlist.
It's amazing that they're getting to work on Sonic officially. I know that they performed Sonic songs at some of their tour shows, which is really amazing. And then let's not forget that this is also in partnership with Realm. The Realm team, consisting of, I'm hoping I'm saying this right, Fred Greenhall. Yeah, I hope I'm saying that right. Fred Greenhall and Dan Brunel, who are in charge of sound design and post-production for the audio. They worked on podcasts such as DC High Volume Batman and Star Trek Con. And their podcasts have hit #1 in the category before. So, like, this is huge for Sonic. This is going to be amazing. And I did see this from Chris in a live stream I was just watching ages ago. I'm going to mention it now. Shout out to Mimi Pion. But Chris was saying that they are focusing on the view count of the podcast. And if all goes well, if viewership is, within the range that obviously Sega is hoping for, maybe some more in the future. It's up to you, Sonic fans.
Time to watch it 1 billion times.
Yes, so we can get more of this. Maybe even some IDW references. You never know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That would be funny. That would be fun. Especially, that would also give us canon voices for the IDW characters.
Which I know a lot of people are kind of hoping for. If Crossworlds isn't going to give us that, then at least something like this. But apart from that, I'm not exactly sure if we're going in order of things that we know about the 35th anniversary, because I was just going to jump off.
Just list everything that you know of right now, Floof.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
So going off from the podcast, going into the 35th, we also have the rest of what Crossworlds is offering for its first half of the year that it's been out. We still have yet to get the releases and festivals of II from Super Monkey Ball, and then Tango and Whisper from the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. And I know that the one for Tango and Whisper is probably going to be a very exciting one.
Yeah, because both of them come together in February.
However, there was something else that was recently announced, mainly on the Tokyo side, mainly on the side of Tokyo in Japan with Sonic, and it's that Puyo Puyo is also celebrating its 35th anniversary, and they are collaborating with Sonic. And it's very, very exciting, specifically because we have new artworks of Sonic and the Puyo Puyo characters. We have the Puyo Puyo characters and the Sonic characters in the Sketchhog style that was recently revealed. And according to something that was seen in an advertisement, it seems as though there's Sonic Racing Crossworlds seems to be involved with this collaboration. And a lot of people are kind of speculating because it said something about March 14th and the 15th.
The day
I'm not sure. I'm kind of hoping for the best, because at the same time, this could just be another sticker collaboration like some of the other Japan or other collaboration based DLCs in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, like the one with Crazy Raccoon when their original song for Sonic Racing Crossworlds was added to the jukebox. However, there is also the possibility that for March we could possibly be getting Puyo Puyo representation.
It's been a while.
That would be funny. That would be great.
It would, wouldn't it? It'd be something. Yeah. Because it's another. Puyo Puyo is Puyo Puyo counts for Sega, but especially with all the numerous references and everything. The Puyos were originally created by Compile and now are owned by Sega. So more Sega representation, and among other things, again, a lot of people are just really, really hoping that it is a new character, and I would also be happy for that being the case. Okay, I am seeing it right now. Sony X Puyo Festival in Hankyu Sendangai. I hope I'm saying these right. I'm going off of a rough translation here. There seems to be some sort of stamp rally. A shopping center in Osaka's Umeda district. And there just seems to be something happening involving Sonic Racing Crossworlds. And I'm seeing it right here. Yep, March 14th and March 15th. It's a weekend. I'm kind of expecting something to happen. What do you guys think? Puyo Puyo in Sonic Racing Crossworlds.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And speaking of Crossworlds, I do think we're gonna, from what we've heard and from what's been said, I wouldn't be surprised if we get DLC throughout the year.
We do.
Crossworlds is doing really well.
We're gonna get DLC because since Tango and Whisper are gonna be in there, it's possible we're going to get Surge, and we have to wait for Sonic Forces to reveal the next IDW character. Which, by the way, on this year, because of the new year, Sonic Forces, the mobile version, and possibly the Sonic Runners, and perhaps also the Roblox game, we're going to get Whisper and Tango, but with new dress. Tango will get one based on the lunar year, and Whisper gonna get a Valentine look as well. Well, Cream is gonna get a skin called Ice Cream, which is funny, finally.
Very funny.
But hey, that's pretty much it for the mobile part. Other thing,
I feel like if
we
you're gonna
still
bring in another Forces character, it has to be either. I mean, a IDW character. It either has to be Kid or Lanolin. If Rough
I
and
do
Tumble get
want
in,
Kid. I do want Kid, but
yeah.
and I do want Yanoi, but some people points out that maybe it's going to be on order. Like who show up after Whisper and Tangle in the comics? You will. And people are saying that it's possible. That it's possible that you was gonna show up, Tough and Rumble. But it depends on popularity too. So who knows who's gonna show up next at this point?
I will say if we get Rough and Tumble in Crossworlds before like Surge or Lanolin, I think the world will explode. But yeah, another thing that I think we need to expect, obviously, I'm hoping that the IDW collaboration for the comics does well, and that's something that I'm hoping for. I don't think we're gonna get more IDW characters in Crossworlds. I would be happy to eat my words when it comes to that. But at the same time, knowing what we know now, I would say that it would be incredibly difficult to see them adding more, especially since it took. I mean, it's better than whatever Archie characters have done, and now that I've said that, every Archie fan over the age of 20 is going to try to shoot me with a shotgun. But it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to get more IDW rep in Crossworlds. I don't believe we will, but it would be cool. Also, this is the 35th anniversary, which means there's going to be a lot of anniversaries and a lot of thumbnails. And usually when it comes to anniversaries, we are usually expect a brand new Sonic game.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
we're still waiting on news of the of the Shadow mobile game, the exclusive one, as well the remake of a game that includes Shadow. People are saying Adventure 2 or say 05, but we still don't know. And some matter
or whatever
is trying to push
out really.
So and some matter is pushing out it's gonna be 06, and I'm like, no, 06 is not gonna get a remake. Let that thing die.
I'm not confident in the remakes. I'm not confident that we're getting any more remakes at this point. If we do, I will be genuinely surprised, and I will open it with welcome arms if I can. But like, I'm kind of also going off of like certain creators and such, especially like someone like Sam Procrastinates, who's saying is like he's adamantly confident that we're not getting a Sonic game this year. If we do, it'll be interesting. Like it could be like some sort of other like spin-off or something like that. It could end up being like another Superstars, but like for like the next game, like Sonic Frontiers 2, it's not happening this year. And I can agree with him, to be honest.
We're gonna get a new game, for sure.
It's been since 2022, 2023 since we've had a new mainline Sonic game, and I am kind of also on the fence about it. I would totally expect the trailer and the release date this year, but not the game. I feel like that is definitely going to be for next year.
Yeah, if we get a trailer, we might going to see it. This is probably me with Copium, but in Summerfest, because I think it's around the corner, right? Summerfest.
And I genuinely hope that this is the case, because like, I don't want it to seem like the game is going to be rushed or anything. Definitely not.
Yeah, and we get Sonic
like it's perfectly fine. It's okay. But,
I just get reminded of the fact that me, Lord M, Bryce, and I believe one other person were sitting in VC watching the Game Awards, waiting for something to pop up.
And the only Sonic related thing we got is some commercial for Spotify.
But then we also have a bunch of other things that we know about. We have from what it seems to be the case is what is it? I'm seeing possibly the international releases of Jet Black Hedgehog and Sonic and the Blade of Courage, the mangas that are currently out right now.
There are mangas?
From what was confirmed by Sonic the Hedgehog issue 86 over an IDW side, the comics are going to be getting 35th logos on them to commemorate the year. So all the comics that come out between now and December will be adorning the 35th logo. We also have Sonic Rewind, which is a little social media upload schedule of special artworks dedicated to like the previous years of Sonic. So, we have the artwork from IDW's Natalie Fordrain, which featured, the giant clock with Sonic, and it would feature like the three main eras that we have of Sonic. We have classic, we have adventure, I guess, modern adventure, and then we have Frontiers modern. Everything going forward from Frontiers, because it pretty much does feel like it's a whole new era since the start of the 2020s, essentially, and highlighting the movies. And that goes true because we got the artwork from Sega of Japan's Yuri Karasuno of the Final Horizon. You see Sonic, you see Starfall Supersonic, Amy, Knuckles, Tails, and Sage going up against Supreme. And it's in highlight of the 2020s, it's in highlight of Frontiers, of the movies, and we're definitely going to be getting like one for like, oh, we're gonna get an artwork for the 2010s and then the 2000s and then the 1990s, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna be getting like all these
modern
cool.
day Sega's gonna reference Archie Floof?
That is really difficult to say, just because I don't know Sega's mentality towards a lot of the American Sonic material from the early days, and I want to say that I wish that it would be acknowledged in some capacity because it really doesn't deserve to be left out. But at the same time, uh, it's it's Sega's decision, and like depending on if they want to acknowledge a lot of the growing pains from Sonic's early days and stuff. Obviously, Archie's gotten better, and like those are a lot of the things that are referenced nowadays. But I don't know. I really don't know. I want that to happen just so no one has to feel left out for the kind of like Sonic material that they grew up with or the Sonic material that they love the most. But it's like it's a double-edged sword essentially. I don't know. I honestly really don't know. It's totally up to what Sega chooses to do.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna have to we're gonna have to see what else comes out. Because I know that there is going to be like a 35th anniversary book, and I'm interested to see what that's all about. Um, and then another thing to highlight is that there seems to be a Crossworlds tournament happening soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I actually don't know. Yeah, it's definitely it's coming off of the Crossworlds Cup that happened in December,
With all those Twitch
and
streamers?
yeah,
yeah,
and I'm
also
kind of expecting something like it to happen again.
yeah, also coming back to Archie for a bit. Uh, I know probably people don't want to mention this, but Ken Penders released a Sonic related new book, which costs $50, but people seems to be happy, mostly because it's kind of like a retelling of the early days of Sonic when he was working, and it's just a chill one-on-one thing of the first few issues, which is nice, at least. Ken Penders, rare Ken Penders W. So
Yeah. There's a lot of I think the reason why I would be fine with not getting a game this year if we get more stuff like the Chaotix podcast little thing, which is really fun to think about. But yeah, I would like there to at least be an announcement or something for a game this year. Obviously, Frontiers wasn't released on an anniversary if I remember correctly. I think Frontiers was released a year after the 30th, or a
Yeah,
year or
it
two
was.
after. Yeah.
Which again could definitely be the case going forward because Frontiers was announced on the 30th. So that's it's totally in line with what is happening. Um, and
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. The IDW comics have always been my go-to in between game releases, and it's totally understandable if we get that same sort of thing where it's like, oh, here we have the Chaotix, and other little materials coming out from Sonic. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of IDW, we are gonna get hopefully 12 IDW issues this year, but
Wait,
no, or more hopefully. We obviously have the Sage. We're joining the comics this year that we're gonna have later this year in January.
You're right. We do have the upcoming arc with Sage finally showing up in the comics, but a reminder for folks: that does not mean that Frontiers is going to happen right after issue 83, because that does not seem the case. But we are not going to talk about that. We're talking about future things.
Yeah. If you want to hear us talk about that, go listen to our recent IDW review.
From 83,
Yeah.
yes, we already discussed that. With 84, because I am with IDW Sonic News, I've been scouring the internet for anything of the sort, and there has been no previews. And that is kind of concerning on my end, just because I was expecting them at a certain point in time in January. But we
Especially
are
since we're a
now
third of the way
about
through January.
at least like halfway through the month is when I expect the previews, especially the solicitations later in the week. But yeah, no. I'm not gonna go and shouting out like my sources or anything. Just the fact
Oh,
that I've been scouring
84 got
places.
moved to February 4th.
Just the fact I've been scouring places, I've been looking, I haven't found anything yet. I'm assuming that they're waiting for ape.com, which is where they've been doing the monthly columns for IDW Sonic, and also answering a bunch of the questions that have been asked by fans to the editorial team for Sonic the Hedgehog. And if that's the case, we're really cutting it like really close, because that's like, we're like no less than 2 weeks away
The release, because
from
it
the
is
release of
February
the
4th.
comic. not to say that we haven't had close calls before, but it's like there's a considerable change to how I usually find the comics previews. But I am excited. Issue 84 is going to be written by Ian Flynn and Evan Stanley, most likely and they're going to be writing the whole arc, which
together.
is going to be just these 3 issues. Yeah,
it's
another 3
issues.
It is
nice to see them actually work together this time instead of like them handing it off to one another. I feel like that's been something that's put a strain on IDW Sonic the last couple of weeks.
The synergy between the writers. There definitely needs to be like more of the writing team. It's why I have faith in Chaotix Case Files, because we have a writer who is currently doing his first work at Sonic, but is being assisted by Sonic veterans. It's like
writers,
more like, and if it turns out great, then it's like that's what we need more of, more teamwork.
And I hope that's something we do get, because as we all talked about in the 2025 recap, we all had a little bit of our own issues, with the writing at times, because it kind of like feels like Ian and Evan were kind of off sync at moments. So it's nice to see them come back together and do this together.
It is something. And then a little bit other information that we know of, like, yes, Ian and Evan are writing that whole new arc coming up, issues 84 to 86, which again, we will see how that goes, but with 2 writers on the case, I'm hoping it is certainly better than the stage is set. The drawings will be done by Mado Fonseca, the colors will be done by Yasmin Omar Atta, and the letters by Ed Dukeshire, as per usual. And then what we do know about the upcoming 85 is that it's being drawn by Minho Kim. Anything else, I'm going to find out just the rest, same as you. And and then we also have the Crossworlds comic coming out, which is very much going to be the prequel comic that's meant to tie into the game, much like Frontiers Prologue, Superstars, Fang's Big Break, and all those other comics that have come out with game releases. It's like this one is definitely feeling like the prequel, because it's Sonic.
At least this one is coming after an arc and not before an arc, because I remember how pissed everybody was a couple years back when the Superstars.
It's going to be coming out during the arc. I'm pretty sure we're getting I'm pretty sure we are getting the comic in between the current arc with Sage. Not like it'll matter, to be honest. Just the fact that we're getting, we're getting a second comic in a month, so that'll be fun.
Even though there was the thing that kind of spoiled Tangle being there, not Whisper, but it was funny that did kind of spoil Tangle being in the game.
I don't even think that it technically spoiled Tangle in the sense of like, for all I know specifically, like, when the comic was teased with solicitation and everything, like, people were kind of guessing that Tangle was going to actually show up because she's part of the story in the prequel comic. But, we could have also had the possibility that the comic was going to show why Tangle and Whisper aren't in the game. That could have been a possibility, and you guys know it. But thankfully, we did not get that timeline, and now we're going to see Tangle just involved with Crossworlds, in a sense. I mean, after all, as Chris Hernandez had stated, Tangle and Whisper being here is just as canon as the rest of the base roster of Sonic characters.
IDW is officially canon, baby, even though it's been canon for a while.
Lol. Oh God, why did I say that out loud? This is why this is the most scuffed podcast ever. Anywho, the Crossroads comic is being written by Yasmin Omar Atta. It is being drawn by Ryan Jambol, and from what I can infer, possibly it will be colored by Minho Kim. At least I think so. He was winking. He was like #winking and stuff when the second monthly column came out, which involves one of the questions I asked to the editorial team of Sonic, and that apparently we are going to be seeing Roulette Road show up in the comics, and well, I think we can tell like which comic it's going to be showing up in. It's Roulette Road.
Are you sure?
There's a Crossroads comic coming up, and the editorial team for Sonic just said that Roulette Road's going to be in the comics. What do you think? If I'm not putting 2 and 2 together, then you might as well just put me in the past to the editorial team of Sonic, and that apparently we are going to be seeing Roulette Road show up in the comics, and well, I think we can tell like which comic it's going to be showing up in. It's Roulette Road.
Are you sure?
There's a Crossroads comic coming up, and the editorial team for Sonic just said that Roulette Road's going to be in the comics. What do you think?
Yeah.
If I'm not putting 2 and 2 together, then you might as well just put me in the puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is mostly of the things coming out for
what we know of.
Comics. We do know that we have the release of the On the Go series, which are the trade paperback versions of the IDW collections, the big books of the Sonic of the Sonic comics, the big collections and such.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would like to actually get those books.
Yeah.
Oh, the big hardcover books, I mean.
Yeah.
I
like paperback, but it's like switching over the recording from Lord M over to me. Right now, like it doesn't really matter that much, but I understand that.
I collected the paperbacks just because I'm following the official reading order of the comics, and that's.
I do too, but it's mainly because I have OCD.
Huh. And then Volume 21 of the paperbacks will be coming out in April, which will be collecting issues 79 to 83. And, well, unfortunately, unless we get some sort of update, we now know that Chasing Shadows won't be added in this book because, well, we already know what happened to that.
Yeah. 79 being mentioned. Yikes.
Sorry, man. They capped off Volume 20 at 78. So it's like, yeah, the first story of the next book will be 79, but oh well, it sucks to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on in April, we have the official coloring adventure book,
which has a story
written by Ian Flynn and drawn by Adam Bryce Thomas. But the colors will be by you, the buyer of the book.
Green Knuckles time! Yay!
Which will feature many of Sonic's friends going off and helping Yacker save Planet Wisp again, which will be an interesting thing. It would be funny if I asked if the coloring book is canon, and if they say yes, then I will truly be stupid.
Everything is canon, remember that, Floof.
That tweet is going to kill me. I will literally make that my gravestone.
Lanofish is canon.
He was canon.
3D
he was canon, everything is canon.
Yeah, I'm putting you in a canon.
Make that my gravestone. No joke. that tweet literally kills me on the inside.
Yeah, but it is funny to think about with all the stuff that we have coming up with the stuff. I'm really excited for the coloring book just so I can just I just know for a fact a meme is gonna come out of that, whether it's gonna be the resurgence of Green Knuckles or Purple Sonic.
Let's also not forget that this year most likely will also be starting the hype cycle for Sonic 4, because with Sonic 4 coming out later in the year, I can only assume that we're going to be starting to get stuff this year.
Yeah, I would have to guess though we would probably have to wait for the December Game Awards because they have just started production and it's coming out in April, and just knowing how the movie cycle is, we'll hopefully see some stuff soon. Maybe a teaser image. We don't usually talk about leaks on the podcast, so we're probably just gonna leave that out.
Let's just leave that out. I don't want to start getting into stuff, and then people start to go looking for it, and then people start causing rumors, and then people start causing discussions on Twitter.
I'm actually playing Chris Thorndike in Sonic 4 Floof.
You hear that, folks? A first timer.
I will put Lanofish in the background.
You will. I know you will. But in any case, yeah. So, do you guys have any idea about what else is happening in the 35th? Well,
Lord M had to go because he had to do something, so I'm recording right now. So it's just gonna be me and you throwing out predictions.
Even though I kind of ran out of material, and this will probably be a short episode, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I'll just slow down it to 0.5. I'm joking, but to me, some of my larger predictions is I wouldn't be surprised. We're probably getting the Amy casting announcement this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Please, it's gonna be funny to see that, especially since we know. To me, if I was a part of the Sega marketing team, I would just throw that out when the Mario Galaxy hits theaters this April. It was oh yeah, here's something to distract you from Mario.
We could get Mario and Sonic at the movies. Come on, dude.
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen with that? Since I believe Paramount's right now trying to buy Warner Brothers.
And they've not bought Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers keeps rejecting them.
Yeah, it's like the Chaotix with their taxes. But yeah, I think it's really fun just to think about what's gonna go on this year. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna be as big as the 30th was. I believe the 30th was in 2021, which had the second movie. I believe that was the year the second movie came out, or was that no? That was 2022. So I guess next year would be a reasonable time to get something. But we've had a yearly Sonic game, at least a spin-off for a minute. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a small project or anything, because it would feel weird if we didn't get at least a nod or a tease. But if I had to make some official predictions, here are my main. We'll revisit this in December when we're doing our next yearly recap. My big three predictions this year is we're gonna get a movie teaser at the Game Awards in December next year. We're gonna get a small spin-off game and we're gonna see IDW's 100 get a big tease this year. What are your predictions, Flu?
My big three predictions.
Mm-hmm.
My big three predictions will be, we do get the casting for Amy, which I would love if one of the because if Colleen could do it, then so can anyone else, and I would definitely be up for Lisa Ortiz returning as Amy. However, if we do end up with a celebrity casting, because I also know that's also kind of a more common case with the movies. Gosh, I don't even know. I believe there was someone. I know that there was someone that someone was pushing out for if we do get a celebrity casting. Someone pointed out someone who'd be perfect as Amy, and it wouldn't feel snubbed. Well, it's like I don't remember who it was, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to leave it there. But yeah. Amy's reveal, it'll happen earlier than the first trailer.
To that floof to your claim about maybe potentially Lisa Ortiz coming back, or even like having Sydney Robinson going. I this is no disrespect to Colleen, but I feel like the only reason why, obviously Colleen's a very talented voice actor. This is not a slight to her at all. So I hope I'm saying this right. But I just feel like they wanted I guess it would be weird to cast Tails. It's a hard thing to cast Tails. So I'm glad that they went with Colleen because no one can get mad at that. But at the same time, I remember that there was a rumor going around that young Sheldon was supposed to voice Tails, so I'm glad that didn't happen. But it's interesting to think about what could have happened.
See, I've been here. See, a lot of the Tom Holland guesses were all in my face, so I never considered young Sheldon. But that's cool. Again, so yeah, you know what? Amy's casting announcement prior to the first trailer. That is one of my predictions. Another prediction will be, the next mainline Sonic game, we'll finally get the announcement for it. It's a lot of these are kind of bare bones, I know, but that's why I had my third prediction. The next classic Sonic game. I do genuinely feel like that this is not the end for classic Sonic. It won't be the end for classic Sonic. Superstars did well. It sold well according to Sega's internal documents and some from their fiscal year that they tend to upload online and such. So I'm kind of expecting the next classic Sonic game. Honestly, I don't know when or what or how, but I'm expecting it. So yeah, next mainline game, next classic game, and Amy in Sonic 4, her reveal before the first trailer. Those are
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Man, I think we're gonna do an episode, hopefully in the future where we predict Amy's voice. That'll probably be something we'll be doing in February. We have a lot of interesting stuff to do on the podcast this year. One of my, I guess we can use this as a way to say some of my goals for the podcast this year. One of my goals is to interview an artist from IDW or from Archie, and just to get the podcast a little bit more out there. It's going to be fun to see what the 35th anniversary gives us. Anything's better than whatever the hell Mario's 35th anniversary was a couple years back, so we'll see. Do we get Sonic 35? Do you remember Mario Brothers 35, Floof? And how good that was, and then they just decided to stop doing it?
Question mark.
Well, I guess that's what we're going to end the episode on. A big question mark for what do you think is going to happen in the 35th anniversary. As always, this has been the Podcast of Disaster. And once again, thank you for watching, and remember to be good to yourselves, others, and mothers, and we will see you next time.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
It was a little talk. It was a little talk. It was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bye, everybody.